Big up the Mendem. Welcome back to Pitch Picks. Short crew here today. We got Za over in London. Maresh is in Mexico, but you got these three handsome studs to either look at or listen to. Let's just get right into it. And look, Rudy, I don't want to beat the dead horse yet, so we'll start with a game where we all just kind of enjoyed it, right? Liverpool Spurs 6-3, 9 goals. Who says football's boring? Not me. That game was awesome to watch. Although it felt weird as an Arsenal fan because it's like I'm so used to rooting against Tottenham and hating them, but deep down I kind of had a root for them, right? Like that was the right thing to do as a gunner was to kind of root for Tottenham in that game. But then also seeing them get smashed was kind of great too. So I guess it was a win-win. Liverpool, 6 goals in a match. Must be nice.
Yeah, so that was while you were out, that was our official pitch picks bet of the week was Liverpool and over 2.5. And we are waffling about should we go
Yeah.
for three and a
I
half? Like
bitched
Alex,
out. I bitched out. I was like,
so did I.
I was
So did
like,
I.
three and a half's way too many.
And it was done, I think, in like 15 minutes. We would have hit both. So we still hit it, but it would have been, I think, a much nicer price tag if we had gone for the 3.5. God knows if we would have gone for 6.5. That game, you could tell from the get go, Spurs just don't have it. They're not
No.
interested in defending. They want to be attacking. They want to go forward. But I don't know how you do that when Van de Ven's out. They had Archie Gray, who's like, I like him. He's a nice young player, but he's playing center back. He's either traditionally like a wing back or plays in the midfield, but he had to play center back. That was doomed from the start. I think Big Ange is in trouble. I think Big Ange is in trouble here.
You think he's going to get sacked?
I think he could be the next guy. If he loses to Forest on Boxing Day and they slide down to, who knows, 12, 13, they're sitting 11th now. I don't know. I don't know how. I think it's going to get hot for him quick.
Do you think for a club like Tottenham, them being in the semifinals for the Carabao Cup is a reason for him to keep his job?
Honestly, if there is any club where that would matter, it would be them because they've had
That's what I'm
such a
saying.
drought.
Yeah.
So typically, no, I don't think so. But like, I guess it is kind of weird. I don't know. Like the situation with Ange is weird because he's so likable, but like they're in a bad position. But it's sort of like a Jekyll and Hyde. We're like, yeah, they're in like a really bad position, but they're a good team.
They have
Right.
good players.
I'm trying to
Like
think
that,
of like the
it's just because
NFL
they
comp
play
that
such
they
a
are.
crazy psycho ball that like when they lose big. And
Yes.
and when they win big. But I don't know. Like after the game, I watched Ange's post game and I felt so bad for him, even though that he's created this whole situation. They were like, the number one thing, there must be like journalists, like I feel like all get like this sort of this group think where they either have some sort of group text where they all ask the same questions or they all arrive at the same conclusion at the same time or they just copy each other. But the number one thing, like the panel on NBC Sports said the same thing. They said that, okay, like at what point does Ange like stop being stubborn and like change the system? And like some sort of variation of that. And they just kept running with that. Like everyone was asking him that. And after the game, they were like, so are you like upset? Like, I know that you're like really into your football and your brand, but are you ever gonna like wake the fuck up? Like that's pretty much like what they're saying to him. And you can tell that like he's just sitting there and he just goes, "Ah, like I tried to
Do you,
win. Like I
do you
tried to
think
win.
it's
Like he's trying to win. It's just that he's like, this is just how I set it up and how I view football. And like we got cracked open by an amazing team. Like it's just so funny to see him being like, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. But it
I
might
do
cost him.
I
do you
do
think
think
it's the
that's
system though, or just the lack of quality?
I
Because
think I think recently quality at the back has been a problem. Udogi's
right,
been
because they're
out,
banged up.
Van de Ven's out, Poro played, but I feel like they're missing another center half too.
Well, I think that so for example, I mean I can't even remember which goal it was. It could have been the sixth, the eighth, but it was one of Liverpool's goals where Tottenham worked the ball really nicely. They worked the ball up the pitch, and then it's going from left to right, and you can see Poro. There's a big opening, and he goes, and the ball gets to Madison, and if it falls a different way, or like he's able to like move it one way, he gets Poro in, and it's just like it's right down Broadway. But they're not quite able to get it to work, and then Liverpool's gone the other way, and it's a goal. So it's like a lot of those 50-50 ones where like if you play that game 10 more times, like maybe Tottenham win 4-3.
Right.
But like it just like it's just like so up in the air and it comes down to like singular moments and I think Ange is okay with that. But the one thing I will say is that you got to chill out with the high line because City's getting their dick and balls ripped off and Pep's the same way. Like I don't know what their deal is with the high line. Like you can still do this other shit,
Mhm.
but let's chill on the high line.
Well, and they can't when you have Van de Ven, who's like the fastest guy in the league, and you want to play that high line and have him run down balls over the top and give your other guys time to get back and support, you can get away with it more because he's such a freak. But when he's out and you don't adapt, then it's like, well, you're asking for this now.
Right.
Like you have the one guy who allows you to do that, and if he's not healthy enough to go, then you're gonna kind of be fucked. And if you look at their results, like, yeah, this was 6-3, but they lost to Chelsea 4-3. They beat midweek Man United. I think it wasn't everybody's full squad, but they beat them 4-3, and that was like the ugliest, funniest game of all time. But it's just nothing really is. I don't know if this is a sustainable play. Like you
I
have
mean,
to
it's
be able.
definitely
No.
not sustainable. I imagine
Yeah,
being a fan of this club.
they're
Like,
never happy though. Fuck them too. Like they're always like when they're playing defensive and getting results, they don't like that. When they bring in Big Ange and they're pumping in goals, but they're not at the top of the table or in the top four, they don't like that either. Fuck this fan base. I am so annoyed with Spurs fans online that like I really like Ange. I think he makes the league more fun on the field and off the field, but it's like
I'm not.
this they get everything they deserve.
Here's a suggestion, right? If they wanted to grow the game, I mean, it's already the biggest league in the world. But just imagine if everyone played Ange's system. Everyone's got the high line running, gunning. Every match we see would be 6-3, 6-4, 5-7. It would be fucking electric if everyone had to use his system.
Dude, it's like FIFA 11. It's just like
Yeah.
game speed all the way up.
Yeah.
I just had a thought about Ange. And I don't mean this as a disrespect to the Tottenham players. Psych, I do. Ange, low key, like maybe just needs some better toys.
Mm.
Like if
Well, I
Ange
feel
isn't,
he has some toys though, but
Dude,
they're all
I
hurt
don't
right
know,
now
dude.
too.
They got Son, they got Solanke, they got Kulisevsky, they got James Madison, they
Madison's a
got
dog
Brendan.
too, yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
you're right. You're correct. This is not, I guess this isn't totally true. This is sort of just like hypothetical thought, but like imagine Ange just with a fully healthy Real Madrid.
yeah, oh, it'd be awesome.
It'd be
It'd be
scenes.
sick.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Maybe I'm an idiot.
I do
I don't think
think
you're an idiot.
if they had Van de Ven, they'd be a little bit higher up the
Yeah,
table.
but the reason why his hamstring exploded is because he has to run like a Ferrari.
Fair. Fair.
I also want to give Liverpool their flowers though, because this team is
Yes.
just unstoppable. 6 goals against Tottenham. Like it doesn't matter who they play, when they play, if it's fucking Champions League, Premier League. This team shows up every single time. And I look like obviously I wouldn't put my money on them to win the league because I obviously want Arsenal to. But I feel like before the season started, no one even considered this team to win the league. Everyone's like,
No.
it's City or Arsenal, City or Arsenal. And these motherfuckers came out here with a chip on their shoulder, a vengeance. And you can kind of see the way that they play and how they attack everyone that they took it a little personal. Trent played his fucking ass off. He he's kind of like a quarterback for them, and he plays in the back line. It's insane. They're a very very fun team to watch, and I just wish they weren't as good as they are because it almost kind of feels like we're chasing Prime City in a sense. Like I just don't know when this team's ever going to drop points.
Yeah. It's just surprising that like you have a whole new coach coming in after Klopp. Like it's a really difficult situation on paper, and very rarely does a new coach come in and completely it just everything works
It is, and it's
the
almost
way it
like
is.
maybe Klopp knew like his time was up. Like you just needed a different, like a slightly different voice and a slight changes because they have the talent. And I saw the Slots post game conference, and someone was like, "Oh, is Gravenberch the next Tony Cruz?" And he goes, "No, but only because he's Dutch." And it was like, like that's how highly he thinks of like his midfield players that really weren't doing a whole lot under Klopp.
Klopp, yeah.
I
So
think
Well, I
they're
don't
better.
get
I think they're better under Slot than they are Klopp. Now, obviously, like I don't have the
now, yeah,
ball knowledge, but like just from what I've seen, I feel like this team is. I think they're the best team in the world at the moment. Period, across all of Europe.
it's hard,
yeah,
hard to
they
argue
are.
with that.
They are. It's
So
just annoying. Like, I was watching them yesterday, and I was like, man, look at all this space. I
I
haven't seen
know.
nothing like that.
no, the only thing you've been seeing is losses, brother, again. And but, dude, I'm going to be very transparent with all the listeners, all the viewers. My best friend's sister was getting married. So I was on a bender the last 2 days. The only game I fully watched from start to finish was the Arsenal game. I watched all the extended highlights, though. I clicked on City's highlights, extended highlights, 20 minutes long against Villa. I saw maybe two City chances in the entire 20 minutes. They were just running and gunning you guys. They played you like how I play FIFA. Long ball, through ball, long ball, through ball. They should have scored six. I mean, they fucking ran you guys off the pitch that game. You guys had no chance. And the only player that had a set of balls on Man City was Phil Foden that entire game. The rest of your team is fucking shit. And you've already came out and admitted that the season's chalked, and I'm proud of you for that. But this is getting like historically bad. And if something comes out and you get point deduction, you might be playing in the championship on Paramount Plus. Like that's how bad this side is right now.
Yeah, it's really bad. I I'm at the point now where I'm like, where's the bottom?
I don't know. I keep thinking you're at the bottom, but you just keep sinking.
I
It's like
know, it's
quicksand.
crazy. Dude,
And there's no
the
answer.
first
There's nothing.
you
You
didn't
have
see the
nothing.
game. You saw the highlights. The first minute, they had a clear semi like half breakaway. And then on the corner, the ball was a centimeter from going in, and
Yep.
Ortega made like an unbelievable save. And then they had another corner that almost looped into the net in the first minute and a half. And I was like, what? What is this? And the one thing, like, I can talk about like the players, and I've already been through all that. The only thing I'll say about a player, first 20, 30 minutes, Jack Grealish was feeling himself, mostly because he
Mm.
was playing at Villa. And that was nice to see, but nothing came of it. And then they locked him up, and he was
Side note, real quick, Rudy. I
yeah.
just saw Grealish highlights from Villa. You guys ruined him. Like he used to be electric.
Well, dude,
He was so fun.
but dude, like, there's just nowhere to go. Like the script is so out. Like when we play, it just sucks. Like it sucks to watch. Like there's just nowhere to go. No one's moving. There's a bunch of things, but the one thing that I am really surprised by, and I was thinking about it in the shower this morning, which is like a sign of like thinking about your team in the shower just sad. That's a low place.
That's a bad place to be, brother.
I'm just sitting there with the water running over my face, just shaking my head. And the one thing I can't figure out, the one thing I can't figure out that's so weird to me is that in the past, like City had a lot of issues with the counterattack. Like when we lost to Lille in the Champions League and like early on, like they were putting Fabian Delph at left back. Like Pep was really struggling with a similar situation where the counterattacks were just killing us. And he was moving shit around like fucking crazy. And you could tell that he was like really, it was like he was like playing with a Rubik's cube. Like he was really shifting shit around. Now he just keeps being like,
He doesn't know what to do. He looks
he's just,
lost.
but I don't get it's like a weird like thing where he's just like, I don't know. And like, honestly, I'm kind of getting annoyed with like the injury thing because he's like, he keeps saying, I need my players back. And it's like, bro, you have like, essentially, we lost Rodri and KDB. KDB is not clearly not 100% healthy and he's old, which is why he didn't play like he can't play every 3 days, which is why he didn't play in this one. So that's a huge loss, but there's still so many other pieces that you can move around, and he refuses to quit it with this high line. He just won't stop. He like, and I think it's just a stubbornness and like his view on football. And he clearly is like, listen, like I'd rather lose playing this way than switch it. And like you can see it in like that John Stones that goal where they literally the press wasn't working. Martinez has it. He passes it through the Tielemans. John Stones runs 20 yards to go meet him. He just loops around him and then goes
Yep.
right in the gap, and then Kovacic gets torched by Rogers. And it was just like bing, 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 boom. It was like you just draw it up. It was just a drawn up play. And John Stones doesn't do that unless that's like what he's been told. Like
Yeah.
John Stones isn't running 30 yards out of his way to go meet up with a midfielder if he's not being told to do that. So I'm sitting there being like, why? Like, why are you doing this? And so like I don't understand like Pep's like weird like rolling over because typically he's so fiery and if they're losing, he can't stand it and he will figure out a way. And now he's just like, I need my players. Like,
He's broken. He's
it's
broken.
weird.
Yeah, it is.
There's something weird going on, and I don't know what it is.
It's almost so weird that it's beginning to surprise me that he signed the extension. Like
Yeah.
it feels like he doesn't want to be there, that he's out of ideas and is like he's done his time. That it was like, why did you you look so miserable, like genuinely miserable during the game, after the game, and then
He's still cutting himself during the game.
they're having practice on Christmas Day for the first time like ever. Kyle Walker was like, yeah, we don't normally
Christmas
don't do
practice.
Yeah, like a lot, like Forest is doing it. A lot of teams do it. City historically hasn't. And then Kyle Walker's like, yeah, we never train on Christmas, but this year we are.
The
So
other
it's
thing
like,
I the other thing I don't love is that my hunch on Kyle Walker is that they gave him the captainship because there was a year during the treble where he wasn't playing much and he was still pretty like prime, I would say. And
mhm.
I think that Pep gave him the captainship as like a way of being like, don't go. I'm going to use you. It was sort of like, oh, you're the captain. You can't go. He's not really, in my opinion, like captain material. And then during this whole run, he's avoided every interview. And if you're
Yeah,
the captain, I'm sorry, you just can't do that.
you got to be out front.
And so I don't love that. And it's just sort of like I just can't tell like if our midfield is that bad or somehow, some way, coincidentally, every midfield we play has like the best day of their lives. Rogers was like it was like he was on adrenaline. Like he was
Dude,
taking like I don't know what drug he was on. Piss test this dude. He was
he's
running around. He was swatting guys off him like flies. It was like Hulk, but
he's
with
fucking good.
agility.
Morgan
You want
Rogers
to know
is
another
fucking
really
good.
sad thing?
I just think you guys have lost your aura. Like that's
So much Oregon negative.
Yes.
gone. So
Yes.
it's almost like when who's the guy in the '90s, the first guy to knock out Mike Tyson, where and then after that he was never the same. You guys just don't like. I feel like you guys would show up, get off the bus ahead 1-0 based on
Right.
aura, and that's gone. And now people are like, oh, there's blood in the water.
There's blood in the water.
You can
Yeah,
tell that. You can absolutely tell that in the first minute. Like the game
Yeah.
starts, and you can tell that
People
everyone's sort of like, okay, here we go again. And in the first minute, it's just
people are bringing the fight
no.
to you now. Like now,
Yes.
you guys are defensive. I mean, you were seventh in the table, and you all called me crazy when I said they're not going to finish inside the top four. This is your new reality. This team is no longer what they once were. And
Yeah.
I'm glad you had your run. It's a great run for you, but now it's time for you to suffer. Just like Patriots fans are suffering. They had the GOAT, they had their run, and now they have the collapse. And this is your collapse, and I'm here for it.
I guess it is. I guess this is what it is. Like
This is when you become a real fan. It's
yeah.
easy to fan when they fucking win 6 of 7. It's not easy when you have the same amount of points as Southampton in the last 3 months. This is where the real Rudy, the real fandom begins. The pain, the suffering, the fuck, I gotta watch this team for an hour and 45 minutes. That's when you know if you're a fan or not. Not when you're winning, but when you're as shit as Southampton and you have to watch them, or even wake up at 5:30 in the morning the day after Christmas to watch your club lose. That's where fandom starts.
You want to know
I'm
another?
excited for you. I'm very excited for
You
you.
want to know another just insult to injury? Like we're just getting titty twisted everywhere. And then just another one is that Morgan Rogers was a City player.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I saw this on TikTok where they filled out a best 11 of former City guys. Holy shit! Holy shit! I might blog it over break here because it's Cole Palmer, it's Morgan Rogers, it's It was
Imagine if
Noah
you
a
had those
Sane.
guys right now, Rudy. Imagine if you had Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers right now. Oh my God,
Dude, my
Rudy.
midfield guys right now, they would be
Rudy.
moving at the same speed if they had walkers. And I feel bad because these guys are legends and they're just like old. Like what we're doing to Ilkay Gundogan is borderline becoming mean.
they got old so fast too. Like
Like he's like, I think Pep's like, you gotta play, and he's just like, I'm tired, Grandpa, and it's like too damn bad.
get out
I
there.
even feel bad for Josko Guardiola because he's like a young player that is just so good. But he even
Yeah.
had a quote the other day that or after the game that I agreed with. Like he's like, I'm playing every 3 days. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking exhausting. And so like imagine running essentially like a 5K, like a half marathon every 3 days, and you get booed the whole time and shelled.
They gotta tank one of these cups.
Yeah, straight up.
Honestly. So
And I just don't want his confidence to get ruined because he's such a good
he's
player.
awesome. Yeah, he's
And
awesome.
and I do feel bad for the back line. Like they are making mistakes, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the midfield just getting absolutely run over every game.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
And big up to Villa though. Big up to Villa. They're doing their
every
ass
team
off.
now that Blood's in the water, every team plays incredible. They played incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they low key needed that because they were kind of going down a little slippery slope there for a little bit, but I think those guys got their swagger back.
I
All
hope.
They'll
right,
be top six. Yeah.
all right. Manchester United losing 3-0 to Bournemouth. Now let me be very fair to all the United fans out there. That was the best I've ever seen a team look while losing 3-0. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah, I mean they had a lot of shots. I mean Bruno and Ahmad had a ton of looks, but they lost.
They lost.
It was the best 3-0 loss I ever saw in my life because I don't think they played bad.
They didn't
They
play.
just didn't execute to the level that they needed. Like the chances were there, the looks were there. When I watched it, I was like, I feel like they were the better side, and they lost 3-0.
They lost 3-0, but it was one of those things where it's like I never, as the game was going along, I was just like, they're not getting back in this. Like, and then they get the penalty to go up 2-0 till like I don't trust that team at all. And Bournemouth is a team that you trust them. Like I trusted them to see that game out. They're in fifth place for a reason. They're a good side. They got the job done, and it's like that theater of dreams. It's just it doesn't carry any weight anymore. Old Trafford is fucking bullshit.
If
Yeah,
there
and
was a
it's
playoff in the Prem, sorry, Rudy, if there was a playoff in the Prem, no one would want to see Bournemouth because now they've got Arsenal, they got City, although that doesn't hold as much weight. United, like you do not want to see this Bournemouth team. Like they could take it to anyone.
yeah, they're a scary team because the teams that are willing to just let you carry the ball up the field and they're cool with absorbing pressure, they're scary. And Bournemouth is very good at holding their nerve, and they aren't vexed by it, and that it's part of the plan. It was all written. Um, saw the board clear on this one. Saw crystal
You
clear.
really did. You really did. I wish you parlayed because you were on Forest plus 200. You said you were, then you didn't put it in. Then you had Bournemouth plus 300. Like that's a hell of a weekend.
Well, I just
When you
didn't.
guys
I mean, it just didn't make sense that they were plus 300 to me with Bournemouth with how good they are.
nuts.
Made no sense. Like it was less so about like I was confident in Bournemouth, but the fact that they were plus 300 on a team that they are higher than at the table was I thought just strange. And then it happened. I mean, I think that I don't understand. I didn't understand the Xerxes start. I like Xerxes, but Hoyland's been pretty hot, and they brought him in.
Yeah.
He was a pretty good impact once he came in. So I didn't really fully understand that. They didn't have Delict. Um, and then that penalty by Mizraoui, who's been incredible all
Yep.
season, was just really hard to understand. That really kind of threw the game. And they just didn't have their shooting boots. I mean, Bruno was just getting a lot of, he was right in his office and just skying the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ahmad must have used all of his, he's hot right now, but the same thing, like he had looks and it just was skying him. Against City, he just like puts it in with it, like he can put it in with anything, but whatever. That's just ball, I guess. But yeah, Bournemouth are just not the team you want to go against right now because you can have the best game plan and they're just like, go for it, dog.
Yeah.
we're gonna knock it, we're gonna get the ball and we're gonna run right at you, and then we're just gonna get them in some way somehow. So yeah, I mean, Amarim's got like a bit of an issue, I think, because they've looked good, but when you look at like it's been a really, I would say, like 50-50 start.
Yep.
Um, and you kind of look at that with like, I would say you can take it either way, where it's like, all right, new coach, new system, you got to trust them for a while. But the reality of it is that you still need to get results, especially when you're working on United. That's the unfortunate reality, and it's unfair that like at any other place, I think that he would be given time and the fans will be normal about it. But the United fans aren't like that.
I
No.
hope the fans are normal about it because eye test wise, they look so much better than they did
So much
under
better.
Agreed.
Ten Hag.
Yes.
So it's like you do have to see it out. These aren't his players. They're getting used to this system. He needs. I don't think they'll do much in January. They might strip some things down if it's Rashford or whatever. But like next summer, he's going to build the team the way that he sees fit, and I think that they'll be, I don't know if top four again, but they'll be a team to be reckoned with. I think under Amarin if they give him time and resources.
Speaking of
Mhm.
top four, that race to that fourth seed is tight. Like that
Barn.
Champions League push between Forest, Bournemouth, Villa, City. I mean, I'm not even worried about that. But Newcastle with a 4-0 win against Ipswich on the road, like Chief said, he thinks that's going to be a team that could be a problem going forward after in January. That it's going to be tough to get in the Champions League. Even Arsenal. I mean, we're only 2 points ahead of Forest. Like if they start slipping
Yeah.
without Saka, we could be in
It
some serious trouble.
we might the Premier League might benefit from having Liverpool win the whole thing, and then you get 5 teams in. The top 5 would go to the Premier League because there's so many good teams. And I don't know if this is the segue to talk Forest real quick, but
Yeah, go ahead. Talk
okay.
Forest.
I was never worried about Brentford. Okay, like that, they're just not
Damn.
on the level. And you guys are talking about Ange won't adapt, Pep won't adapt. We came out with a back 5 for the first time all year, and it worked brilliantly. So they had, Yates had a knock, they had Dominguez, they had guys on yellow cards. It was like, all right, we're going to a back 5, and what happens? Williams, they go left back to right back for a goal early. Then they spring Alanga on the break, and he finishes. It's 2-0. They had Sells. I think he had 2 quality saves in the game, one really in the second half. But it was never in doubt. And it's just because we can do like the horses for courses thing where it's like, hey, if we're playing a team we want to invite pressure, great. If we want to be on the front foot, we got the attacking guys to do that. Murillo and Milankovic I think you could make an argument that they are the best center back combo in the Premier League now. And they're brilliant to watch. They're great to watch. And I was concerned. I told you guys before where it's like, man, it's a little scary if Wood's form goes away because it's like Chris Wood or nothing. Well, now you're kind of diversifying how you score. Alanga's heating up. Callum Hudson-Odoi had one of his best games of the year in the last couple of weeks. So they're getting it. I think they're like they can aim higher. Like they can aim higher. And we haven't talked about Arsenal yet.
Man's
but
talking about the league. This man Chief wants the league.
I'm holding that ticket for to win 15 grand. The league feels like Liverpool is just going to run away, but second and third, fourth, like I think they're going to be in that mix all year, especially now.
I would love to have Forest on Wednesday nights.
Oh, it'd be incredible. It would be incredible.
Mhm.
Fucking Wednesday in Bratislava or whatever. Sign me up, dude. And but how about Arsenal now, no Saka for no Sterling for many, many weeks is the quote.
Even when this team wins, we lose. Sterling irrelevant means nothing to me. I feel like
it
he's
would
not
be
even part of the
nice
squad.
to have him if you don't have Saka. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, sure. Even though he'd probably go out there and put a dud out there, and we're better off going out there with 10 men than him. But even when this team wins, we loses. But Gabriel Jesus, he's risen. Or maybe it's just because it's by Christmas and his last name is Jesus and Jesus and everything, and all the stars are aligning. Or we should just play Crystal Palace every fucking week. This guy's got 5 goals in 1 week against the same club. I mean, he owns them. He's basically their daddy. 5-1, great win from everyone. Great performance from everyone. The team looked great. Saka going down, though, again, out for 3 to 4 weeks. We're fucked. We have no answer. And I know we just put up 5. And what did we put up against Palace on Wednesday? I want to say, I know Jesus had
Well, he
3.
had
I
a
think we
hat
had
trick.
4
Yeah.
that game. Yeah. This offense is going to suck without Saka because all we do is play through him, play through him. I couldn't tell you who they're going to play through now. Odegaard? I mean, that's the
Probably.
only thing that kind of makes sense. I saw this one tweet on Twitter, and it was so savage that I sent it in the group chat. So Kai Havertz scores that goal. He puts the soccer ball in his shirt, thumb in mouth, and I guess that's the international soccer player announcing that they're having a kid. Someone quote tweets it and goes, "She's actually already given birth. She's just so he's just so shit that this is the first time he scored since she got pregnant." And he's probably right. She probably already gave birth, and he's had that celebration just stashed away for months. It's good to see him back on the score sheet. I don't have the answers for what Arsenal's going to do on the wing without Saka there, without Sterling as a backup. I think it's going to have to be back to set piece FC, play good defense, and hope you win 1-0, 2-0.
But Saka is pretty instrumental to set piece FC. He's
I
the
know.
one
I
ripping those
don't know what
balls
to
in,
do.
dude.
We might
He's the
go on
one.
a city run. We might go on a city run where we don't win a game until he comes back.
Well, no, as much as I would love that, I don't think that's going to happen because the one big difference between City and Arsenal is that, yeah, you have trouble scoring, but at the very least, you still have a solid defense. That we do not have.
Yeah.
So, and I think that like once again, Arsenal fans aren't going to view it this way, but like Saka going down is definitely hurts. But even with him, I agree with Chief, like, and what everyone else is saying, like, regardless of that, I just don't think anyone's catching Liverpool right now.
Yeah.
So just let them get healthy, stay in the top four, retool, go
So
again.
I can't do that, man. I went into this year saying this is the year that
It
Arsenal
ain't,
wins
brother.
the league. And now it's just
Also, shout
you
out to
want
Gabriel
to talk about
Jesus.
injuries. You want to talk about injuries, right? No one's been more injured than Arsenal. Calafiori, Odegaard, fucking Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, who I don't even think he's played this year. Saka. I mean, the whole team is hurt. I don't think we've had that opening day lineup since opening day.
Yeah. Shout out to Jesus, though. Last week, I straight up said with my whole chest that he's not that guy and he's not going to keep scoring at this clip, and he face fucked
Oh,
me.
here we go. This is the bullshit, Rudy, because now everyone is going to be like, oh, we have our number 9. We do not have our number 9. He played Crystal Palace twice and torched them. Now, I will gladly put my foot back in my mouth if he keeps doing this against other teams, but I can't have this fake, like, oh, let me score 5 goals right before the January transfer window so I can keep my job. I'm not falling for that. That's bullshit.
Are you guys familiar with the Ewing theory? It's an
What's
old Bill
that?
Simmons thing.
No.
So Patrick Ewing was on the Knicks for forever, and then they trade him, and they just could never get over the hump with Ewing. They trade him, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna rebuild now without Ewing." They immediately went to the finals. So it was like you subtract your best player, and you actually get better. What if that's the thing with Arsenal? Because now Odegaard, it's not everything is through Saka. He's spraying it to Martinelli. He's getting it to Jesus. He's getting it to, whoever else, Kai Havertz. So now it's not as predictable. It's not corner FC, but the key, I am actually sneaky rooting for this because I think it might kill Za. That if Arsenal is a better team and they attack and they're more diverse in their attack without Saka, I think he would die. I think his brain would shut down. We'd have to lock him in a mental institution because he wouldn't know what to do.
He would
So
turn into a vegetable.
yeah, honestly. So I am interested to see
That
if
would be
there's
awesome.
if there's anything to that where this is what unlocks Arsenal is Saka being out of the lineup, and then when he's healthy, you
Yeah,
just
I
have
can't
to
even
leave him on
process
the.
that.
He's a
I can't
super
even
sub.
process that.
Yeah.
All right, so our next 4 games is at home against Ipswich, on the road against Brentford, Brighton, Newcastle, United. We could get out of there unscathed, I think.
What'd you say? Ipswich, Brighton, United?
Ipswich, Brentford, Brighton, Carabao Cup game, Newcastle, FA Cup game, United.
The only one that I think would give you issue would be Newcastle,
Newcastle's tough.
possibly.
Right, but that's also I know it's a semifinal, but still, it's like Carabao Cup. Like if we lose that game, I'm not losing sleep.
Arteta needs a trophy, dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck off! This
he
him
does.
He
winning, him
does. He
winning or not
does,
winning
dude.
that
He's
trophy
been
means
there
nothing.
forever.
It
He's
means
been there.
nothing.
He needs a trophy. He needs that Carabao Cup.
Well, actually, no, I take that back. He is too.
Oh, right. Community Shield?
Yeah, he is in his
Yeah.
words. Yeah,
Yeah. True.
yeah. He's
True.
got 2 shields.
Damn.
Fuck
Pretty
off,
cool.
dude.
Dual
Yeah.
wielding,
Fuck
going
off.
akimbo on the shields. Blocking out the haters. I have 2 trophies. Look.
Are we done? Are we
Yeah.
done?
Yeah. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
All right, let's get into Boxing Day. This next segment is brought to you by DraftKings. It is the Pitch Picks parlay. I like what you guys did last week. It's kind of ironic that when the best bettor on the show isn't here, you guys actually cook up a winner. So maybe to your point with the Ewing thing, maybe that's me.
Yeah.
So I'll start with you, Chief, and like let you guys cook your little magic, and I'll just chime in where I think I need to.
My bet that I like the most is going to be Chelsea and the total of that game, and I think I'm going to go over 3.5. And if you do that, I got to go same game. Sorry, give me 1 second. Same game. So Chelsea and over 3.5 gets you to plus 180. So they're playing Fulham at home, London Derby, and they're not getting shut out 2 games in a row. Fulham is a team that likes to get forward and attack. I think there's goals in that game, and I like Chelsea on the short week.
I don't like that over 3.5 at all.
What if I made it 2.5? Because this is what we did last time too. We kind of talked our way through it. So if it's Chelsea and 2.5, that's minus 115. That's even money. That's basically what we did for the Liverpool game.
The only issue I have with that is that like I think that game's going to be either 0-0 or 3-0. Because Fulham can defend pretty well.
That's what I'm worried about.
Where are they for defending? Okay. Well,
Yo, wait. Let's stay within the family here, Chief. Forest at home against Tottenham.
Yeah, that's
That
kind of
smells
that's
like
what I was
ghosts to
eyeing.
me.
so this is where I don't like it when everybody's on Forest. I'm on Forest. But here's the other thing about that line. I do feel like it's kind of disrespectful to Forest.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because they're plus one. I'm showing plus 140 on DraftKings.
Yeah.
Tottenham's plus 180. I just don't know how we're going to line up. I don't even know that it matters. If you guys want to get on Forest, I'll go Forest plus 140. And if you want to add something to it, let me know.
I think that I mean, based on how Tottenham are, it's really like we got to kind of make a guessing game at Ange if he's finally gonna like get sick of the criticisms and change it up. I don't think he will. I don't think that's in his DNA.
Yeah.
And so I would like over 2.5 again, maybe. But with already plus 140, we don't really even need to do that because the only reason we did that last time is because we liked it and then it gave it a little bit of juice.
Yeah.
I like that one. The rest of the games are kind of tricky. Like
It's
like,
very tricky.
how do you gauge Wolves right now? You know what I mean? How do you gauge Man United right now? The other one, Liverpool, Leicester City. If we want to be real trolls, we just go Liverpool minus 1100.
That one feels
tricky.
safe. That one feels safe.
Yeah, that would be tricky. I do like the Chelsea one. The only thing is that Fulham are can be real pricks to play against.
Do we want to do same game or do we want to mix and match?
I think we only do same game if we want to just get the juice up on something. Like if we have a favorite, you know what I mean?
Okay, because like I'm looking at, and I just don't like the total for that Chelsea game. I feel like 4 goals in that game is a lot.
Okay.
I agree. And to me, honestly, the one that I have the best read on is Forest. I feel confident that Forest will win against Tottenham.
They're so fucked.
So Forest, there are like 3 teams that Forest has never beaten in the top division, like going all the way back. And Brentford was one, got them last weekend. Spurs is another one. So
okay, so I'm in on Forest. I'm all for it.
All right.
Now,
fine.
do we want to do 2.5 or 3.5? If we do 3.5, It's
I
plus 340. If we do 2.5, plus 190.
So if it's 2.5, I feel like Forest will win. If it goes over 3.5, then things have gone wrong. So
Okay.
if you like Forest, then I would leave it at 2.5.
Well, if we like Forest, then maybe we just go Forest. But it's
Yeah,
only
Forest
going
because
to
like
give
why are
us
we like 140 to plus 190? Like,
is nothing.
Yeah,
yeah, it's not. And so like you're adding extra risk, and I want to put money in the pockets of the people.
yeah.
Yes.
All right, Forest.
Okay, so it's not the pitch picks parlay. It's the pitch picks bet of the week. It's
Nottingham Forest.
official. We're going Nottingham Forest.
Hmm.
Watching your team win is nice, but why not make that a win-win? My partners at DraftKings are all about that winning feeling right now. New customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using my promo code PitchPicks. The crown is yours. Follow all of your favorite Barstool personalities' picks in the Barstool betting group on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code PitchPicks and bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's promo code PitchPicks only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. All right, boys, we got a couple minutes left here. If there's any
I
games on Boxing Day you want to get into,
I want to get
let's
into.
do
I
it.
kind of want to get into your gambling brain
Okay.
on the Newcastle Aston Villa game.
Let me
Aston
pull it
Villa's
up.
away. Aston Villa, nice result last week. They're a top 6 team. They're plus 265 on the road. Newcastle's minus 110. What's going on with that? Make
That
make that
screams
make sense.
draw.
The draw is plus 295.
That's
Why
why I
is
like the draw.
Newcastle? I know they're at home. I know they've been playing pretty well. Why are they minus 110 against a Champions League team?
But I think it's because like
I've
right now it's tricky to gauge the quality of a team that just shelled Man City. Like Villa looked incredible, but at the same time, you're getting like a free win. It's just like City's just a tune-up game right now.
Yeah.
my thing with lines is I don't try to understand how they got to the price. I accept the price and then I try to make a decision based off the prices that they set, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know why Newcastle's minus 110, and I do think plus 265 is very disrespectful to Villa, which is why I like that draw. Because when I see the away team at plus 265 and the draw at plus 295, that tells me something. And the way that Villa's been playing, how inconsistent Newcastle is, I know they're kind of on a little bit of a run right now. Just looking at that line alone, I think the value and the best bet in that game would be the draw at plus 295.
That to me is the most intriguing matchup of the day, of the weekend. I might go. Oh, this doesn't really get you much, but if you do both teams to score there and parlay it with the Newcastle double chance, so Newcastle or tie, that gets you to the even money, minus 110.
I think I just found my bet of the week.
That's it.
Oh, fuck. No, that's not it. But
Okay.
I love Wolves and United, both teams to score. No draw at plus 130. That's
I just like
talking
that's
shit to me right now.
that's a
I
good.
like
I
that.
like that a
I
lot.
like that too.
That's
Should we make
talking
that the pitch
shit.
fix one? You want to give that out?
It was plus
Do we
130.
stick with our gut
I
or
want,
do we
if
go
I'm
with
being
that?
honest, I want you guys off of Forest. I want
Okay.
you off of Forest. But
All right.
I
New
like
pitch
both
picks,
bets.
official play of the week. United, Wolves, both teams to score, no draw, plus 130, only at the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Great.
I'm just going to go through these matchups real quick just to see if there's any big ones that we missed. Chelsea, Fulham, interesting game, but we kind of already went over that one.
I
Newcastle,
mean, just in
Villa, we
terms
hit
of,
that one.
but just in terms of the table, like the Chelsea Fulham one's interesting because it's like Chelsea need this one if they want to be legit. It's
Yes.
like a very big game in terms of them staying in like the you're for real conversation. That's just my only take on it. I'm curious if they're able to like unlock a really good defensive team, in my opinion.
Yeah, because they just drew against Everton. If they go back, were they were they on the road against Everton? Yeah, they were on the road against Everton. If they
Right.
come back to Stamford Bridge and lose this game on Boxing Day with all the momentum that they have,
Or
not a
even
good sign for
draw.
them.
Like I think Fulham, if you're Fulham, you're looking if I'm the Fulham coach, I'm looking at this like draw.
Yeah.
You're going for a draw.
And then, I mean, Liverpool should just absolutely wax Leicester. So, yeah, I mean, we pretty much hit all of them. You guys got anything
The other
else?
interesting thing in regards to the table though is that Newcastle Villa, like if Newcastle win that game, they are right up in the conversation. That's like a
that's a huge game. Yeah.
really big game in terms of that fight for 4-5.
Well, they would pass Villa, so they'd automatically shoot up to at least 6, depending on, well, I guess it depends on what you guys do earlier that morning. But yeah, like that's a huge game for Champions League, Europa League, conference, all of that. So, and I think that those, if from where I'm sitting right now in 4th place, those are the 2 teams behind us that scare me the most at this moment.
Can I
Right.
ask? Let me ask one quick question before we wrap up. Is Everton going to win this game?
Dude,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
But like we haven't thought so for 3 months, and City's still minus 290.
it's crazy. I mean, I'm not gonna touch it bet wise because there's just no way. But like to me, this screams draw.
The draw is plus 450. It's the second most likely thing to happen in this match.
The only thing that really makes me super nervous is that this lines up so perfectly for Dykeball, or Diceball, is that like they defend with everybody, and then you just start. And if you run at City's defense, you're gonna get a goal. So like it just the matchup to me is not good.
This is almost like we should do like what Hank does the NFL, like make a hungry dog, and
Yeah,
it'd be
Just
like,
do all draws.
or like the double chances. So it's like Everton or draw.
We could do that. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
we could do that like on the side for sure.
Yeah,
I don't want to advise that to people yet. Maybe we'll get hot. All right, that's going to wrap up this episode of Pitch Pick. Shout out to everyone who tuned in. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, comment, share the pod with some friends. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone, and we will see you guys next week.